catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Okay, technical difficulties. I can't play my song. I have a song, a great song that somebody gave me, and it's not working. But I want to say good evening, good evening. Tonight is going to be a heck of a night. I have a guest coming on tonight, and his name is Mac357. As a matter of fact, I see he just came in the room. I think he just came in the room. I wanted to let him know. My music wasn't playing. Can you hear me, Matt? Shake your head. My song is not playing. I don't like that. Let me bring you to the stage. How you doing?
I'm chilling.
I was like, okay, where is he? Did he forget what time it was? I was like,
no, didn't forget.
Busy man. I think gone over here. I had actually gone over to IG to let some people know that we would be over here today too. It's a busy night for me tonight with you, and then I have a show with some poets tonight that's going to be really something. So tonight's like a double header for me, and I want to thank you for coming through, man. The evening experience. Go ahead, let them hear that radio voice. Say hello. Say good evening like you do on the radio.
Once again, it's your boy Mac357. This is the Evening Experience Radio Show. 7 to 9 on Thursday goes down right here in the boudoir until COVID is over. We here, we live, we lit.
Oh, man. Y'all heard that voice? Right? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Mac357. So for some people who don't know what the evening experience is, they've never been on your internet radio show at all. Tell the people where is the show, but first tell them a little bit about who you are and the background about the station first. Introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Mac357, the Evening Experience Radio Show. 7 to 9 on Thursday, it happens, it goes down, and we facilitate the process of talking to a ton of different people, from celebrities, up-and-coming artists, people who are in business, doctors, lawyers, you name it. It's a variety show that deals with, in the evening, you experience us while we experience you. So we experience the actual people who are coming on, talk with them about whatever they're currently into. We've had an incredible run of different people that we've had on, like the Hollywood Walk of Fame Tony Award-winning Ms. Melba Moore. We've had Lisa from Lisa Nicole Jam, Grammy Award-winning artist. Lisa Fisher, Grammy Award-winning artist. And the list goes on. I can talk about the superstar athletes that we've had. Two-time Super Bowl champion Kyle Arrington. Rampage Jackson from the UFC. Zab Judah, 6-time light middleweight champion. And the list goes on. People from BMF, people from Tyler Perry Show, The Have and the Have-Nots. You name it, we've done it. So the process is, and the list goes on. And even this Thursday, we have someone coming from the Fast and the Furious.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So your show is just an online show, or are you on the radio?
Online, it's on IG Live, which is the Evening Experience page, which is on IG. You get to see people like Robert Richard, who played in Coach Carter, and my cousin Skeeter, All for One, which was with Flex Alexander. He's been on. Paul Anthony from Full Force, Grammy Award-winning artist. Darren D. Henson, who's played in Stump the Yard.
Let me ask you this. I love the list of everybody, but tell me about you. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been in broadcasting?
Since 2011.
Okay. And did you go to school for this?
No. So a friend of mine came from Texas. He was coming back to New York. He lived in New York all his life, moved down to Texas for whatever reason. Came back and said, "Yo, I'm getting this radio show, and I know you a business guy and you like talking to people, so why don't you do this with me?" Shout out to DJ Money Making Sean, aka the Cold War Soldier, who actually got me started in this business, and I facilitated to fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I had three shows going, none of which were my own, and I was on everybody's platform, and everybody loved the voice and the way I asked questions and so forth and so on. And they were like, "Yo, you're really good at this." And I caught the bug, and I never looked back. So now here it is. For the past 6 years, this show has been mine.
Wow.
Um, I own it. It's an LLC. It's a real business, and I tell people this is internet radio. I know people got, "Oh, are you on podcast?" Yeah, I know that's the new radio, but this is not the process for me being quote unquote. Um, am I in that realm? Yes, but I prefer terrestrial radio, talking to people, having a process of interviewing them that way.
So you don't just consider yourself having a podcast. Can you explain to the people out there what's the difference between a podcast and a radio show?
So podcasting of itself is, I call it convenient programming, where you can turn on and off that program at that time. Terrestrial radio is when you actually have a show at a particular time. It comes on that station at that moment, and you're not catching it again. It's in the moment radio. Now, do they have now where you can get little snippets and different other things that either they'll put on Instagram or different places where you can get a snippet of the show? But if you want the full show, you actually have to, just like with Power 1051, they are part of Revolt TV. So you can go back and watch their actual programming on TV because Diddy's cameras are in that actual place every day.
Wow. Okay. So talk to me about when you were a child. Did you dream about doing this?
No, in actuality, my dream was law enforcement, which I have been an officer at one time. But the process is, never in a million years saw the people, listened to them over the years, over the time in which they've facilitated to be in radio. Like, I've had them on the show, the one and only Lenny Green from
Mm-hmm.
WBLS. I've had Daisha from WBLS. I've had DJ Chuck Chill Out, Cool DJ Red Alert, Funk Master Flex, DJ Self from Power 105, Cluminati, Clue from Power 105. So I've had some of the heavy hitters on the show. But just listening to them talk about the job and the process of being, never did it hit me until, like I said, 2011.
And it happened because someone made a call to you and asked you to just join them for their show. And now you've taken over the show and it's become the Mac 357 show. So the evening experience has its own image, its own name.
Correct.
And now that it is your show, what is your vision for the show? Like
Uh,
2024 is coming. Do you have a new vision for the next year?
my vision is not only to have it where you can see it, but it's going to be on air, so you can actually facilitate. So I'm trying to, shop my show around to different stations and facilitate to get it on air, FM, because that's where people want to get their spins and their
Yes.
process
Yeah.
for radio in and of itself and advertisements and so forth and so on. So that's the next iteration, because I tell people this: I do the thing that the big shows do without a budget.
Okay.
So I do everything myself. I
Yes.
advertise myself. I
Yes.
promote myself. And of course, then there are people who are fans of the show who definitely love to promote the show, whatever the case is. Um, and it is a process of, but everything that comes with the aspect of building, promoting this, that, You're looking at them.
So if someone wanted to start a radio show and they came to you right now, what would you tell them? How would you tell them to begin the process?
Run. Um, Literally, I would tell them you got to know who you're talking to. You got to know your audience. You have to do your research. You can't come up with the same question. Hey, where were you born? Hey, what did you do? Hey, blah, blah, blah. No. You got to ask questions that bring the life of the person out, something that sparks their mind or turns them into, oh, yeah, I remember a time when. And sometimes you have to let them talk because people have a tendency of not understanding how to interview. Interviewing people requires a process of you. It's like an
Open-ended
ebb and flow.
questions, having those open-ended questions and probing. You got to know how to probe.
And you got to know how to dance. You got to know how to sway, turn when they say turn, move when, you got to balance everything. And sometimes when you let somebody talk, they'll open up on their own because the people love talking about themselves. So with that being the case, if you let them flow, they will flow.
So out of all the people you've interviewed, who has been the most impactful for you?
And you're gonna think I'm joking when I say this, but every last one of them. And the reason why is because each one has taught me something. Um, from the people who didn't have any understanding of what it is to interview. Back in the day, your PR would get you prepared to do an interview. Some people don't have PRs, so they just wing it, you know. And then they get, sometimes you get those guests that go, yeah, right, sure, okay. And you expect them to open up and they don't. So you got to carry the conversation. And like I said, then there's people who love to talk. Then sometimes you have to balance them out and jump in where you can jump in and
You
bring
got
the
to got to do
conversation
the
back.
church move.
Right.
Got to put that finger up. Like, can I get a word in? you
Correct.
know, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna get those. I enjoy people who have a lot to say. It's it's means that they want to tell their story. You know what I mean? Everybody has one. I feel like everybody has a story, so that's a blessing. Now, what was your biggest learning experience though over the years as the industry has changed, as people have changed and times have changed? What would you say was it?
Well, I'll tell you this. I learned that this is an industry. This is not real life. And when I say that, I was born in Mount Vernon, New York, home of Heavy D, Denzel Washington, and I can name a bunch of other superstars that came out of Mount Vernon. Debbie Allen, Felicia Rashad. But that this industry in and of itself facilitates to be just exactly what it is, an industry. It's not where there's some people who are real about who they are, and then there's people who are fake about who they are. And
Ooh,
you have to learn the difference between the two. Don't take everybody at their words. Oh yeah, you can show up to such and such, and I'll have tickets and roll call and everything. You show up and they're like, "Oh, I didn't think you was coming." It's like, what? Why would you invite me someplace if I wasn't gonna come?
yeah.
But and then there are people who roll out the red carpet, and I'm not gonna tell you there's 9 times. Yeah, you want a bottle? You need this? Da, da. Yo, that's Mac. That's Mac 35. Yeah, have a seat here, and you got to learn the difference between the two. See, my thing is like whenever I go do something, I call the PR, the person who's telling me to come, and make sure my name is at the door, please. And I've learned to do that over the years, and I'm not industry, but I understand the industry. And sometimes you have to be very frank and straightforward. You can't mince words and anything else. Make sure my name is at the front door. When I show up, I'm expecting to be escorted to this area. I'm not, you know, I'll stop and take a few pictures. Like there are people who go, "That's Mac. Can I
Wow.
take a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Let's do this." And we take the picture. But I'm heading to this area. I need to get to that area.
It's interesting what you said about real life versus reality. In a world where reality TV is very popular and people love it, let's talk about that for a minute. Do you feel as though the ratings go higher and more people listen to the fake reality versus the real stories?
Yes, I know for a fact it does. There are people who I had a publicist once ask me did I want R. Kelly's ex-wife. I said no. She said
To
why? I said
interview? You mean to interview?
yeah. I said no. She said, but she's starting over and she's doing these things and these are the things in which she wants to talk about. I said cool, but I don't want her on
Not
my
my-
show. She was like, why? I said because what do you think people are gonna do? Did you know he was like this? Did you have any idea? Did you understand? And then that would be overshadowing. I would have to turn off the comments, and then everybody else who was there would be pissed. Well, why can't I say what I gotta say? This is America. You're supposed to be able to freedom of speech and all this other stuff. Yeah, but my process is not to do certain things. I don't do salaciousness. I don't do tabloid TV. I'm not into the. I don't care who you slept with, who you didn't sleep with, who you lay down with that night, whose husband you with, whose wife you with. Doesn't matter to me. That is not what I'm about.
So you are what I call a self-made internet sensation. Who inspired you?
Lenny Green, um, that's one of them. Cool DJ Red Alert, Funk Master Flex, DJ Self, and in no particular order. Um, Listening to these brothers over the years, listening to, um, you know, WBLS
Oh
station,
yeah, Frankie Crocker. There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. A lot of people don't know
listening
about that.
to all of these things facilitate for me to be where I got the opportunity to see the greats do what they do. Hearing them night after night, people taking and recording with the tape decks back. I'm saying I'm dating myself now. Recording with the tape decks back in the day to the smooth dulcet sounds and the DJ talking and everybody's rocking. Man, listen, I would be remiss in not knowing who these people are, giving them their props, speaking about them, and loving what I do because of them.
Hmm. Wow.
Now,
And the funny
I,
thing is, go ahead.
I've been interviewed on Power 105 myself. So you'll see me, and
Coming up soon.
no, it's up on my page. It's been up there for a while. Before I left New York, I'm currently in VA.
Yeah, you did tell me you're in Virginia now. You miss New York?
I do a lot of
Really?
stuff. Like during the summer, last summer I was before I left, I was with 50 Cent, G Unit, Uncle Murder, um, and a
The
whole bunch of
access,
others.
the access to the people, being out there, the lifestyle, the
You can't listen. Ain't nothing like New York for anything. Music,
nothing.
fashion, you name it, is there. Now I'm
And
not
it's
so much into the fashion as you can see. I just wear regular stuff. But I have been to some of the fashion shows during Fashion Week in New York, and just watching the people, the celebrities, different people that show up for these events, and uh, New York. I know everybody says when they're in Los Angeles, Los Angeles. No, my is and always will be New York. New York is the mecca for everything.
well, I appreciate the professionalism and the way that you do it. I have to really get over there and really, really check out. I've been to your website. Now, tell me about the people on the radio with you now that it's your station. Tell me about some of your co-hosts and some of the other people and their time and the different programs that y'all have.
Shout out to the other people that were there. And like I said, radio's not for the faint at heart. I facilitated to have had young people who worked with me for a moment. I've had people who were older work with me for a moment. Shout out to Miss Tony. Shout out to all the people that were there. Big Chuck, shout out to um, my last co-host, the Art of Noise, and I'm forgetting one at this moment. But some people come in with the ideology that this is supposed to make them famous. Some people come in with the ideology that, I'm here um, to gain followers, to gain access, to gain, you know, I don't have a platform. You gave me one. Now that my name is bigger because you've had people on your show and people have watched and you've given me light. Now I can go off and do my own thing. And some people didn't care about it as much as I do because I tell people I take my time every week. I work a full 40-hour week job, and I do this. And this is like its own 40 hours because you have to get everybody's resume straight, everybody's name straight, and also tomorrow one of the presidents of FUBU is coming on the show as well. Um, but the process is it never stops. You got to eat, sleep, breathe this. You got to think about the concept, the styling, the getting your voice ready. Hey, once again, it's your work. It doesn't happen if I don't say it. You got to be in the right mindset. You got to be dialed in, 10 toes down, ready to rock.
What can we look forward to next year?
Whoo, even bigger, more, more celebrities that are popping in, and it happens. Um, it Listen, the amount of people that are getting ready to come on this show, it's going to be even bigger and badder than the time that we're currently here. And I'm
Good.
going to make it
Now, do
that
you
way.
work out of your home or do you have an actual studio?
Nope. I used to be in the studio. Shout out to In the Mix Radio. Shout out to DJ Cruz. But I haven't been in the studio since the pandemic. That's when the mantra changed to once again. This is Mac 357. This is the Evening Experience Radio Show. 7 to 9 on Thursday goes down right here in the boudoir. In French, it's boudoir is the bedroom until COVID is over. And COVID is still not over. That's why people are still taking shots. So that's why I keep using that line. When they finally say COVID is no more, then I'll change it up to something else. But until then, the boudoir is where I'm going to be until I get into a physical studio. Somebody's paying me for my time, and that's the only job I got.
Yeah, is that the goal?
That is the goal.
When do you anticipate doing that? Like 2025, or do you have a deadline?
2024.
Okay, okay, okay. That's good. Do you ever think that you'll start doing like red carpet interviews or anything
I
else? Or you
have.
okay, so you're doing those now,
Been there, done that.
right?
I've been on many red carpets. I've been, matter of fact, because I wasn't in New York, and recently the mayor gave out proclamations to some of the different people. I've also had Kid Capri on the show. Um, the, I sent my correspondent that is still in New York, and I told him, "You're representing me."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was there. He did his job and facilitated to get people like Special Ed, Kid Capri, and a whole bunch of other
Hey,
people.
wow. So do you help other new expiring radio show hosts in any way? Do you have any type of workshops or do anything to consult?
I haven't consulted, and let me not say that. I have, in the sense of as much time as I've had to be able to say something to someone, and they ask me a question or whatever the case is. Cool. I have answered to some people. DM them, call them, or whatever the case is, and try to give them some advice. You know. Um, Shout out to Miss Tony on the move again. Or moving with Miss Tony. I groomed her on my show. And now, if you go look at her page, you'll see her up there with Busta Rhymes and different other people. and I showed her some of the ropes and some of the questions and some of the things that she
Nice,
asked
nice.
and how to talk and walk. Well, not the walk part because she's a model, but she's always had poise when she stood by my side when we did and live interviews. You'll see us at a few different events throughout New York City. Where we were there to interview people and got the opportunity to talk with
Yeah,
them.
I was actually supposed to go do a red carpet this weekend, but I don't think I'm gonna make it there because my hair appointment got pushed back, so that's not gonna happen. Um, and today is like a really laid back show for me because usually just a lot more, but today was just one of them kind of days for me. It was just crazy.
Hmm.
And just excited to have you here and be able to talk to you. I didn't realize that you had so much experience. You know, I know you had the voice, but I didn't realize that you had been in the industry like you have, and that you had so much success and knowledge to share. So that is a beautiful thing. And a lot of times that is it. We meet people but we just don't know, and that's why it's important to hear people's story. What do you want people to know about you and your radio show that has never listened to you?
If you're watching, you're going to get the opportunity to see greatness as it unfolds, not just from the show itself, but from the people who are there. You'll get to learn and hear and see things that have never been heard and said before. I had Ron Browse. Ron Browse was the one who actually created the beats for Nas's album Ether.
Mm,
Ether was one of the biggest albums out at that time, and he facilitated to tell a story that he never told anyplace else. I said, "Tell us something that you've never told anybody." They didn't know that he shopped the beats to Rockefeller first, so Jay Z would have had a chance to take those beats.
mm. Wow.
Jay Z
So
passed on them,
wow. So it
and
sounds like you like artists. You like dealing with artists.
I
And
like artists. Listen, I like artists, actors, you name it. I love it all. But just having people who have been in the industry for a long time. Ron has been in the industry for give or take 15, 20 years, and the amount of hip hop artists that he's worked with is incredible. But for him to tell that story, and then I said, you were almost the reason why Jay Z didn't have a career.
mm,
Um,
wow. So
but he
the
said I
difference
shopped it to him
between
first.
wow, the difference between you and I is what I try to do is give people a voice who have never told their story, who have not arrived yet. You know, the individuals who people may not have heard of, and some people are not looking for them. But then once the story gets shared, it's like, wow, I can relate to that. People can relate to it. Success story, sob story, sad story. Some of them are sad stories. Some of them are great. What do you think about that? What do you feel the people want most out here when they're listening on these internet waves?
People want to hear about people. People want to see the people that they may not even talk to. Like when I had Miguel Nunez on. Miguel, if you don't know, is from uh, the movie Life, Joanna Man, Pretty Ricky. That's what
Mm,
they call him when he was on Martin. Um, you know, and so forth and so on. Um, Hearing about his story where he came from nothing, poor town, had barely two nickels to rub together, and literally traveled across the country to Hollywood, snuck into a studio, and got discovered. And look at him now.
yeah. Well, it's clear that everybody does have a story, and everybody begins somewhere, you know. And some people get it right the first time, and some people don't, you know. And so you said you have a lot coming up. With everything you have coming up, anything particular that you want the people to know, to be on the lookout for and listen for?
Watch every week, and you'll never know who's gonna pop up on that screen. Because I've had people pop in, industry cats, and people go, "Well, how the hell did you get such?" Like, no joke. The one and only Sugar Ray Leonard follows our show.
Nice.
Um, Never expected that, but he does.
And
Um,
where do they tune in weekly at?
right there on IG Live. It's once again the evening experience is the actual Instagram, all one word, the evening. So it's both E's experience. And you can definitely tap in and watch us and see all the greatness as it unfolds. But I will tell you this, um, just be on the lookout for the show every week. And make sure you watch it. And like I said, I've had Cole from Martin, John Hinton, who played Overton Wakefield Jones on Living Single. Um, you, brought man from the fifth floor.
Yeah,
Um,
bro. Hmm. Now, what would you tell individuals that would like to be able to get that type of clientele? Any
and I'm
advice?
glad you asked that. Here's the best advice at all: be true to who you are. Do exactly what you say you're gonna do. Make sure your reputation is clean and that you actually get things done. And when I say that, my reputation precedes me before I even walk in the door, before I even speak to a publicist, before I speak to their clients. My reputation is already in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And I built my reputation over the years. So now it's a little bit easier, but it's not sometimes. Recently, I was supposed to go interview Morris Chestnut, but I took sick, so I couldn't be there. But eventually, I worked my way back around to that. There's times in which, life does get in the way,
Yeah.
but you have to be tried and true. You have to call people ahead of time because if they're expecting to be there, they're expecting to be there. Shout out to Speech and Ashay from Arrested Development. They've been on the show, Grammy Award winning artists. Um, and like I said, the list goes on. But if you're going to start something, be able to know why you're starting it, what's the reason that you're there, and that it has a purpose. Don't do something that
Just to be
strokes your
doing it.
ego. Right. It's not
Right.
about your
Follow
ego.
up and be professional. I think that is
Always.
so true. That is so true. Definitely. I definitely will be following up with you and talking to you. Yeah, I have a conversation that I definitely will have with you offline. I appreciate you taking the time to come through. I need to do a couple of things myself for 2024. Been a good year, but I want to go back into some things, because I used to have that inside connect too when it comes to the artists and stuff like that. Back 30 years ago. This time I wasn't really trying to go that route. I was trying to go and do the unknowns, the people who are not getting the opportunity. And they appreciate it. They really do appreciate it. And it gives them the chance to have something tangible to let people see about them that they may not have. You know what I mean? So I appreciate giving them that opportunity. But let me ask you this in closing because I don't want to keep you long and I got to get ready for these next folks I got coming up after you. When it's all said and done, after you finish and you hang up the hat and you say, you know what, I'm done with radio. What do you want the people to say?
That this man respected what he did. He cared about what he did, and he made us feel good while doing it.
And it was valuable. It sounds like everything that you do is valuable information. You're giving people something when they leave that, like you said, they never heard before. They're feeling that experience. I mean, there's something about the name, the evening experience. It sounds to me like they get that experience when they come to your show. So they get the whole thing from all the senses. They see it, they hear it, they feel it. So shout out to you. Did you name it?
Yes. And actuality, no, that I didn't. My partner at the time, which we were doing this, named the show. He said, "Well, you said you want to do it in the evening, right?" And I said, "I want people to experience us while we experience them." And he was like, "The evening experience. Why don't you call it that?" I was like, "This. Let's do that."
Wow. If people want to get on your show, what do they need to do?
Uh, First and foremost, not everybody gets on. I've even turned down some celebrities, but I tell people this: if you want to get on, if it's something that you have, if it's a product, and if it's something that fits my platform, I've even had sex therapists on the show.
Hmm.
But the process is it's about something that fits the platform, and not everything and everyone and everybody fits the platform. There are people who facilitate it to saying, "Yo, I got some music," but you're holding the AK-47 while you're sitting there talking about your music and your picture and your video or your, your silhouette or your caption or your screensaver, and I'm like this. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm not bringing that on the show. I'm good, thanks. Yo, man, my music's dope. I heard your music. It's not that dope.
All right. So, do you want me to put your email on there so they can email
Yeah,
you?
that's fine.
All right. So, I wanted to make sure I do that and say that they need to contact you at that.
And if you go to the evening experience page and you follow, you can facilitate. And we also have a YouTube channel, the Evening Experience. You can find that on YouTube. Ton of different content there, as well as some of the videos are also on Instagram itself. So you have
All
all
right. They
places to
have a
watch.
YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So, they need to go. And do you do any live shows on your YouTube?
Nope. I haven't done one.
So, you just basically just upload.
IG, yes. If I want to, I rip a lot of the content and put it over there, and sometimes I don't. You know, IG has been my home since, like I said, the pandemic. So,
Yeah, that's it. Well, I appreciate you. I definitely do. Y'all make sure you go over there and check him out on YouTube too, and make sure you support. Support is free. Support is free. So you can go ahead and you can do that. Instagram. A lot of people are not on Instagram, but the evening experience. You'll know when you hear him. You'll know the voice. You'll know the voice. He has a radio voice. Definitely. Are you scouted out by radio stations?
I have been. There are some who are like FM online, and yo, man, I would love to have you on my. Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Uh,
Um, because when I say, hey, I want, okay, is there a salary with this? And they go, well, we can get you experience. I said, I've been doing this for 11 years. And they like this. Yeah, so you got a lot of, wow, you've been doing
Yeah,
it a while.
wow. Yeah, that's
And
right.
then
Top
when,
dollar.
but then when I recently, and no joke, I got to Virginia, told somebody about it. They said, okay, there's somebody I want you to talk to. So the guy was like, yeah, um, we'll have Mac or whatever the case is. And I said, doesn't sound like he knows who I am. She's like, I don't think he does. So when he went through the page, he was like this. Wait, isn't that? Yeah, yeah. I said, I get that a lot. I said, I am who I say I am. I don't have to tell you I'm somebody I'm not. I'm not fake. I'm not phony. The show's not fake. The show's not phony. He said, but you get the, I can't even get these people to come to, yeah, I know. I said, my reputation precedes me.
That's right.
I talk to publicists, I talk to people. I got the opportunity to do this because each person I spoke with before, interviewed before, got before, they understood what the platform is, what it's about, who I am, the people.
And a lot of people don't think to talk to the publicist. A lot of times
Correct.
that's the move. The publicist, the manager, all that. They don't think about that. So, that's the proper protocol. And then the publicists are looking for avenues. They're looking for platforms. They're looking for ways to get these people out there, but they're
Correct.
selective about where they go. They're selective because they have an image to uphold too. So
Correct.
speaks volume about you. Well, listen, I appreciate you. We're gonna get together definitely. I look forward to the day that I can come over there and share my information about my book, because that's information that everybody needs to hear.
And don't say look forward to you coming. I just have to build you in, and you have to have time yourself. Because every time I talk to Miss Crystal, Miss Crystal's, I'm out of town. I'm doing this. I'm over here.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. But you
she's
know
always
what?
jet
That's
setting.
old saying. Good help is hard to find, man. So that's why I had to take a pause and just try to, do some stuff. And I'm pausing again to try to get some things a certain kind of way, because I too like things a certain kind of way. I don't just want to be doing it to say I did it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't have to. I've done enough in the last 40 years. So back when I was in promotions and entertainment, this was started for something different. Like I said, this was started for the people who don't have a name, the people who don't have a reputation, the people who don't have, the followers and the people, it was different. And every now and then, if I get a name, that's different. That, totally different. But I appreciate you. We look forward to talking to you. I'm going to give you a call so we can follow up, and I can get some pointers from you. And yeah, just send me a date. Send me a date, and so we can do that. I got you covered. And again, I really do appreciate your patience and everything. And we'll connect real soon.
All right. Once again,
Uh,
it's your woman Mac 357. I want to tell y'all again, it's going down in the boudoir this Thursday, which is tomorrow. Tap in from 7 to 9. We'll make things happen. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.
all
Peace.
right. Thank you, dear. See you later. Ladies
Later.
and gentlemen, you've been watching Storytime. You heard it. And we'll look for you to come back soon. All right. Thank you for watching. Keep hope alive.